The News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Rappler CEO Maria Ressa says the network will appeal the SEC's decision to revoke Rappler's certificate of incorporation. This after the agency affirmed its earlier decision to revoke the registration of Rappler and its parent holdings corporation. According to Ressa, this effectively orders the shutdown of the news site. But she also said that they will continue their work while appealing the SEC's decision, since the agency's proceedings, in her opinion, were, quote, highly irregular. 10 government officials were tagged as agri-smugglers in a list sent to President-elect Bongbong Marcos. Mon Gualvez has the rest of the story.
In a list that Senate President Tito Soto to President-elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr., 22 names were identified as either suspected smugglers of agricultural products or protectors.
Huwag kang magtira doon sa ulo. Lahat. Kung maaari, from the secretary down to the ASIC.
The list included 10 government officials headed by Customs Commissioner Ray Leonardo Guerrero and other high-ranking officials of the Agriculture Department, Plant Industry Bureau, and Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. DA Undersecretary Ariel Cayanan was surprised that he got implicated. He claimed that he has been staunchly advocating against smuggling in the agency.
Hindi niya pong ipagtanong sa mga magsisibuyas na Nueva Ecija, San Jose Mindoro, ako po ang kanilang takbuhan at kandungan every time po na magkakaproblema po sila.
BFAR meanwhile absolved National Director Gongona. The agency said that it was in fact Gongona who instituted reforms against corruption in the agency. Navotas Mayor Toby Chanco also denied being a protector. He clarified that it was he who reported the smuggling and diversion of imported fish to the DA. Aside from the Navotas Mayor, also in the list of alleged protectors is a certain Mayor Jun Diamante, who is supposedly in charge of product smuggling in the ports of Davao, Cagayan de Oro, Cebu, and Subic. Also implicated is a certain Jerry Teves, who is allegedly operating other major ports. As for Samang Industriya and Agrikultura or SINAG, they are not surprised that government officials are among those involved in agri-smuggling.
Hindi naman magagawa yan kung wala silang cohort, wala silang kakutsaba sa mga ahensyang to.
Malacanang meanwhile said they are one with the Senate in the campaign against corruption. They added that necessary charges have to be filed before the Ombudsman so that the implicated will also be given due process. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Agriculture Undersecretary Ariel Cayanan denies his alleged involvement in agri-smuggling. Cayanan was among the officials tagged as supposed protectors of smugglers. The official confirmed that smuggling of agricultural products indeed happens in the country. But Cayanan claims that he has no involvement in these illegal activities.
Ako po, maliwanag na sinasabi ko naman po na talaga pong may smuggling na nangyayari. Pero baka naman po kailangan hanapin natin talaga kung sino po yung mga nagkakadel at saka po kung sino ang mga nagpo-protect sa mga smuggler. Tulad ko po, hindi ko ma-connect ang sarili ko po. Pinatatanong na nga po natin, sabi nga po ng mga nasa quarantine, hindi naman po ako nakikialam doon. So paano po ako naging protector?
We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Jeepney drivers are hoping that they will soon get a much-needed 2 peso fare hike, with the LTFRB set to decide on their petition. Gerard de la Peña has the story.
Jeepney driver Jerry hopes this banana could help him get through the day. He is cutting down on his meals as he no longer earns that much due to rising cost of fuel.
Minsan, kumikita kami sa lasaw. Pero minsan, yung lasaw na yun, sobrang sapik, kaya mawawala din ang kita namin.
Pump prices were jacked up yet again on Tuesday with the 1 peso and 65 centavo increase for a liter of diesel and a 50 centavo markup for a liter of gasoline. Drivers are still hoping that the government will hear their plea and hike fares. The LTFRB has already tackled their petition for a 2 peso increase in minimum fares, meaning an additional 1 peso to the previously implemented 1 peso provisional fare hike. This will bring the minimum fare in jeepneys in Metro Manila, Central and Southern Luzon, as well as in Cebu and Davao to 11 pesos. Transport groups also ask for a 2 peso increase in fares in other regions. The LTFRB said they will decide on this before the Duterte administration ends.
It will impact not only the operators and the drivers, but the commuters as well. Not only that, but there is also a factor on the effect on the economy, the inflationary impact.
As for the petition to jack up fares by 5 pesos, the LTFRB says they leave it up to the next administration. Also up for discussion are fare hike petitions filed by operators of provincial and city buses, TNVS, and taxis. The LTFRB has also asked the National Economic and Development Authority to look at the impact of the fare hikes on the country's inflation. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
A survey showed that Filipino workers ranked first among the most stressed employees in Southeast Asia. Faith Del Mundo tells us why in this report.
20-year-old Nicole John has been working as a call center agent for just 5 months. But as early as now, he can feel the stress in his work, especially if he answers calls from irate clients.
When we're taking calls, isa yan sa pinaka-nakaka-stress kasi we are handling a lot of customers. We handle a lot of expressions that they are giving to us, such as maraming sa workplace namin, sa mga customers namin talagang galit sa service na nakuha nila.
Nicole John says other sources of stress include having to work in the graveyard shift and on-site.
Sobrang challenging ng commute. Specifically kapag ang shift mo is what we call mid-shift, papasok ka niya ng 1 a.m. So during those times, simula nung nag-pandemic, wala ka talagang masakyan. Actually ngayon, swerte na lang kung meron. Pero talagang ngayon wala. So isa sa nakakapagbigay ng stress namin as a night shift worker, specifically hindi lang naman BPOs marami din diyang mga night shift workers Isa sa nagpapaka-stress talaga sa amin is yung traveling from our home to the site. Na talagang minsan, kung mamalis-malasin, wala kang masasakyan at mapapagastos ka kasi mabigat siya sa bulsa.
Despite his stressful situation, Nicole John manages to work every night to help his family and to save money so he can finish college. Meanwhile, Leo Villa has worked for more than 10 years in the BPO industry. But he admits he still feels stressed when working. Because of this, his health suffered.
Nagkaka-dehydrosis, parang kumakat, may itchiness sa balat na parang nawawala, parang may tubig siya pag kinamot mo. Tapos other times were also hindi ako makatulog ng maayos. Napapastress ito ko.
A survey prepared by analytics firm Gallup revealed that the stress of the daily grind is taking a toll on Filipino workers. Half of the 1,000 Filipino survey respondents admitted to experiencing stress most of the day. The Philippines topped the list of countries with high-stress workers in the ASEAN region, while neighboring countries Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar, and Vietnam rounded up the top 5. Indonesia ranked lowest as only 20% of those surveyed answered yes to experiencing stress. Although stress among Filipino workers is down by 3 points, the results of the 2022 survey is still higher than the global average. According to labor group Buklura ng Manggagawang Pilipino, the result of the survey is not surprising because most Filipino employees are overworked, underpaid, and are working on a contractual basis.
nakikita namin yon sa ground. Kapag nag-organize kami, we see how workers are under a lot of stress and anxiety and insecurity because of their conditions of employment. Sa loob ng tinatrabahuan nila, they are really powerless. Why? Because of too much exploitation dito eh. Karamihan walang ganon. At karamihan ng mga employer, mga ignorante pagdating sa relationship with labor. Akala nila mga manggagawa nila ay tau-tauhan lang, slaves, and they're used to so much power, unchecked power and discretion inside the workplace, that they put the workers in so much insecurity, stress, and emotional distress.
According to psychologist Dr. Camille Garcia, personal issues, pressure to provide for their family, and disliking their job can cause stress.
Ang daming pressures na iniintindi ng isang tao, lalo na dito sa atin. Sobra ang pressure, hindi lang sa family, hindi lang dun sa mismong work, na kung minsan sasabihin natin, yung masyadong, yung kung anong pinagtatrabahuhan mo, kailangan ganun din kapantay yung ine-exert mo na effort sa pagtatrabaho. Pero at the same time, kumisan makikita mo na ang tinatrabaho mo, hindi naman din yung natapos mong kurso. Karamihan pa nga siguro, baka more than 50% of the population na nakatapos ng ganito, hindi yun ang talagang tinapos nilang courses, and yet they have to work.
Garcia shared possible ways for Filipinos to reduce stress in the workplace.
At least once a month na merong debriefing kung ano yung nararamdaman, para mismo yung talagang employer na iintindihan at ma-acknowledge din na, Diyos ko, ang mga tauhan ko pala nakakaranas na ng depression, nakakaranas na rin pala ng anxiety. Huwag mong aalalahanin na yung problema mo sa bahay, iwan mo doon. Kung problema sa opisina, iwan mo rin doon. Para pag uwi mo sa bahay, iba yun eh. Kasi pag nag-uwi ka pa rin ng trabaho sa bahay, para bang pagod na pagod ka na lang. And that makes you irritated. At the same time, may pagkakataon na mas magagalitin ka.
But Garcia said if you are unhappy with your job and you only see it as a means to earn, it may be time to pack up and leave. And if your mental health is suffering due to your work, it's best to consult with an expert. For News 5, Faith Del Mundo, we are One News.
And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.